This is Jupyter Books for Education and Open Source Curriculum. Thanks to Sean, Shane, and Eric, who've all helped with this, as well as Edwin. Quick about me. My name is Jonathan. I have worked at Berkeley for a while. I'm here with Berkeley today. I started off as a lecturer for Data 8, which is UC Berkeley's introductory data science class. It's the largest data science class hosted at Berkeley. It's also the largest class at Berkeley, around 2,000 students a semester, give or take, depending on which semester it is. So huge, huge class. I then began work as a technical project manager, where I built part of what you're going to be seeing today, working on GitHub Actions and creating Jupyter Book for curriculum, working with CAL-ICOR, as well as Camino College and Data 8, which I just mentioned. So the origins of this project are, we started work with Cal Learning Lab. Anyone ever heard of Cal Learning Lab or worked with them before? Okay, cool. Woo, go Cal Learning Lab. We started working with them, I think January-ish, and we built an open source bank of Jupyter lessons. I am restricted to 10 minutes today, but I have a ton of content, so if you have questions, you can talk to me after. But this is going to go really quickly, so I can't explain about the actual modules. But we built a ton of modules across a bunch of different disciplines: sociology, economics, calculus, biology. There's like 15 that aren't even on here. But the goal here was to build an easy-to-maintain, shareable, contributable, interactive curriculum modules. And so that's kind of the site that we've created. And it was incredibly successful, and it turned out that this project was very extensible. And so because it was extensible, we did the same thing 2 more times without very much effort at all. We reused it for Camino College in spring 25. This was a college that we worked with to build curriculum for individual instructors. So we built curriculum for 7 different instructors, all first-time instructors who'd never worked with Jupyter before, who were super interested in data science. And so we worked with them to build curriculum that dropped into their already built courses. So we did legal studies, we did a bunch of different classes, and essentially this created a unified experience for students and instructors. Made it easier on both sides, kind of like what Sean is doing, kind of making it easier for both groups of people to interact with this curriculum. And we also built a workbook for Data 8, which I forgot to mention, which makes it a lot easier for students. In Data 8, you had to go to data8.org. You had to go to inferentialthinking.org. You had to go to a bunch of different websites to access all of this content. And the workbook that we created unifies all of these pieces of information into one place so that students don't need to keep track of a bunch of different indexes. They're able to understand where their material is and view it statically without even needing to open a Jupyter interactive console. So how this workflow works at a glance for the instructor and student is the instructor will update their content on GitHub. I'm actually going to do a live demo here of me adding content and updating to show you how quick it is. It takes about a minute. So we're going to update some content in GitHub. Then GitHub Actions is going to rebuild the entire Jupyter book. It's going to check what files were updated, create new HTML and Markdown for those, and then auto-publish it to a predetermined site. And then once a student is like given a link or told, hey, we just uploaded the homework, or this textbook page is available, they can go to that one website. It's all listed on a table of contents, so students know where to go. It's easily organized. And they can actually launch that directly from this page. They're able to select either if they want to run it through a public hub like Colab, so pretty much everyone in the world has access to Colab, or you can run it through an individual institutional hub, kind of like Jupyter.CAL-ICOR, which we built at Berkeley, or any other hub that your university or institution might have. Some of the benefits of this pipeline: it's super easy to update. Edits are triggered, automatically rebuilds, published. You don't have to look at it, you don't have to think about it. It's one GitHub commit or close a pull request, and then in 90 seconds your content is live. It's a one-stop shop for students. This is a big thing. You can launch notebooks from the site. You can use this site to review static notebooks, and that's a great thing that students like for review, right? When I taught Data 8, huge class, dealing with like, oh, well, this exact content and where we told you how to do this is in this specific notebook. Then they have to go to the course website, click on the notebook, wait for it to load, scroll to the specific place. If you're reviewing for content, you can just have this index up, scroll through it. Oh, I remember this notebook. Click on it. This whole thing is loaded statically. You don't need to be running a lot of cells when you're just reviewing. You just want to see what content is there. Same thing for textbooks and lecture demos, right? Maybe you forgot what the professor said in the lecture, but you don't want to have to open a whole new Jupyter book, right? It removes that portion, that block for students. And then one thing that we implemented that's not necessarily a part of this demo is footprintless notebooks. We call them footprintless because it means that a notebook is shippable, runnable, usable without sharing external files. So you don't need to share all the images that are in the notebook. You don't need to share the CSVs that are loaded in the notebook. And I'll show you a little bit about how that works in the demo. But it can help a lot when you are using it for a large number of people because you need to store copies of all of these files when you use it for a large number of people. And with a big image or a big CSV, that can cost a lot of money. So the tech stack that we used, I'm going to run through this really quick because I'm running a little low on time. GitHub Actions, it's the repo where all the notebooks and HTML is stored. We have CI/CD pipelines, and it publishes the site. Jupyter Book is the tool that we use to really stitch all this content together, create MD files, create HTML, render a table of contents, et cetera. And then we built this a little bit in an opinionated way. We use the quant-econ theme, which just adds a little bit of styling to it, make sure that students are able to access it, makes it look a little nicer, adds some cool like animations to when you hover over things. But really, the main reason we used it is it adds a launch tool, which is kind of the big thing that ties everything in together, which I will show you guys in just a second. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. So I'll go ahead and show you one of these notebooks that we use. I'll zoom in. It's a little small. So you can see we've got this table of contents. By the way, if any of you guys are interested in contributing, you can see this here, cal-icor.github.io/textbook. If you're interested, please contribute. We'd love to get some more lessons in. But we've got a ton of different things here. I'm just going to pick one at random. No, I'm not. I'm going to pick the one that I built. So this is a notebook that I built many years ago to teach students about what Jupyter is, like the history of Jupyter, and etymological fact of how Jupyter was named, et cetera. Felt that was a little bit poignant at this conference. So it's a regular notebook. We've got a lot of content. We've got runnable code. Everything works. It's just a normal notebook. But when you click here, this is where the magic happens. So I've already pre-entered this since I'm running low on time. But jupyter.cal-icor.org is the hub that we're going to use. And if I just go ahead and click launch here, we're going to launch this into the hub. I could have put in any number of hubs that I have access to. But this is going to work right now. Fingers crossed.
That'll work.
Yeah. Oh, right, it works. Yeah, launchable, interactive. All of this is runnable. Very easy for the student to use. You can see I tested this a few minutes ago. So yeah, super easy. Works well for the students. And now I'm going to do the demo. And this is the part that I'm a little nervous about. OK, so this is a notebook that I made about San Diego 311. Super interesting in case you want to check it out. But essentially, all an instructor needs to do is make a Jupyter notebook. This is the only edit you need to make outside of the notebook, which is just add 3 lines to this table of content. 1, the chapter that you want it to be a part of. 1, just chapters, and then the file name. So I'm going to go ahead and commit this to the repository. Cool. I have 1 minute left. This better go quick. OK, let's see this action get kicked off. Yeah, it got kicked off. Nice. So this is the action that actually builds the Jupyter notebook. This one takes about 20 seconds. It has to install a bunch of dependencies. And then it's going to build a bunch of oh, wow, that was quicker than I thought it was going to be. It has to build the actual notebook. Then there's one quick check that we built, which normalizes all the headings. Sometimes we have students build these notebooks for Data 8 courses. That was something that I did. And sometimes you put a heading in wrong. And when this is rendered in HTML, that can screw the whole HTML up. So we had to build a check-in for that. So that actually fixes everything. Then we're going to go over here, and we're going to see this action, which already started working. I have 15 seconds. I am going to go a few seconds over, because I want to show this. Here we're going to build this. You'll see everything's building, yada, yada. You don't have to worry about the technicals here. But it's building. This part takes about 40 seconds. So we should only have about 10 seconds left. And then we're going to deploy this. And then once it's deployed, it'll be viewable. And you'll see the link up here in case you guys want to check it out. And it'll all be runnable and interactive for you guys on Colab.
Is this Jupyter Book 1 or 2?
This is Jupyter Book 1. We need to update it to 2. It was built a few months ago. OK, yay, it's deployed. Yay, JupyterCon demo. Cool. Now we see the same notebook here. We can run all of this. We're going to use Jupyter.CAL-ICOR again. We're going to launch that notebook. And then in just a few seconds, we'll have an interactive notebook. I think that whole process I was timing, it took 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
All right.
So yeah. Really easy for instructors to use, really easy for students to use. It's a great tool. I am over by 50 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and stop so our next presenter can get set up. But if you do have questions, I will take them while they're getting set up or off to the side. Thank you, guys.